Hello, my name is Shacid Lardios. Today we will be discussing the Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes experiment by Jane Elliott. Um, yeah, let's just get right into it. So, who created this experiment? Like I just said, Jane Elliott was the creator. She first taught this lesson on April 5th, 1968. Um, she taught this right after the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. Her students were very confused why he was assassinated, what happened. So she thought that opening their eyes would have been through an experiment. Um, so she wanted to teach that discrimination is never okay, and by doing this, she was able to create the Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes experiment. So, what is this experiment? Jane Elliott divided her children up by blue eyes and brown eyes. So she basically told the class like, "Hey, we're gonna divide up, and whoever has blue eyes today is going to have superiority, and whoever has brown eyes won't have as many privileges, and they won't get to play on the playground, stuff like that." From there, she gave one group more privilege, like I just said. So she did this for 2 days, where one group would have superiority over the other each day. Um, what did this experiment do? The children did not react too well to the experiment, of course. Um, Jane Elliott, quote from her: "I watched what had been marvelous, cooperative, wonderful, thoughtful children turn into nasty, vicious, discriminating little third graders." Jane Elliott had these cards where she would teach her children each day, and she would use these cards and then she would time them to see how long it would take them to complete whatever was assigned on the cards. Um, and she saw that it took longer for the children to complete the cards if they were not superior that day. So for the first day when they had brown eyes, it took them longer to complete it than it did the next day when they were superior when they had brown eyes. So that's pretty interesting. What did this experiment teach? It taught children not to discriminate one another just because of the color of their eyes or even their skin. They were taught that their eye color is something they cannot control, so they shouldn't discriminate those who are different from them. What can we learn from this? Jane Elliott wanted to educate her students on a topic that wasn't being taught in schools. So, another quote from her: "You didn't get educated in school, you got indoctrinated in school. Now use what you learned in school to educate yourself." So, essentially, what she's saying is you weren't fully educated on this topic in school, but you can use the knowledge you get from school to learn about what you need to know for the world, basically. Like, like we don't learn bills and stuff like that in school, but we educate ourselves on how to do bills or taxes and stuff like that. And it's the same thing here. Why do I find this experiment so interesting? After doing thorough research and watching many videos, this experiment can still teach a lesson to this day. We're living in a society right now where it is okay to be racist, maybe not in school or a workplace, but outside we have freedom of speech to say whatever we want, and sometimes the things we say aren't exactly good. Because of the current government system, people of color are once again being looked down upon. How does this correlate to the brain? This is an important topic to discuss because we have to look beyond color. We're all one race, the human race, and we should not be dwelling on this topic of whether black people deserve rights, brown people deserve rights, or even if white people deserve rights. Why do I want to bring attention to this topic? I think if more children are taught this experiment while they're in school, we would have less of a racism problem. I am almost certain our problems lie in not educating students enough while we have them in our classes. How could this impact my field of interest? I would like to become an English professor, and I think learning about this experiment in general has really opened my eyes to certain things, like how racism impacts our world, or well, our country, and how it has been impacting our country for many years now. Um, and I would like to teach this through books, and hopefully, I would be able to make a change. So, conclusion, I hope this gives you a bit of insight on what it may feel like to be discriminated. I hope that this information has better educated you on on this topic. Thank you for watching. And before I forget, here are my APA sources. So, thank you.